Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My apologies, I haven't posted in a long while because technology failed me. Technology is good if it works, but if it doesn't work, problems come up. So that's why I wasn't able to post anything even if I wanted to. Amazon took forever to deliver. But anyway, here we are, we're back. I am back, and thank you so much for being so patient with me. I truly appreciate it. And for those new in the channel, welcome. So, without further ado, we are going to talk about what to do for the month of September. Number in a zone 5 garden, cold climate weather. The number one that we need to focus on for the month of September in a zone 5 garden is harvesting and preserving summer crops. Now, summer crops like your tomatoes, your peppers, your squash. Like right now, our first frost, usually our frost is around mid-October, but this year it's going to be really early. Tonight we have 38 degrees. And that's not factoring the real feel. So whether I like it or not, I had to harvest everything. Now, how are you going to preserve them? For the herbs, you need to harvest every single one of them. Like, harvest your herbs, cut them up, and hang them upside down to dry. And you can use that for winter. Like, for example, your rosemary, your mint, your sage, your basil. Now is the time to harvest and cut them up. Before I forget, remember, you have to harvest everything, especially all your summer crops and your herbs. They need to be harvested before the first frost. I have to reiterate it because it's going to damage your plant if you don't. And the quality, especially if you want to store them, the quality goes down if you don't harvest them and put them in before the cold snap. So in order to save what you've worked hard for, harvest them even though they're young. And I know it's painful to see them, harvesting them when they're ready, but it is what it is. So jams, jellies, you can dry them, you can freeze them. There are so many ways to preserve. What is the point of growing stuff if you can't preserve them, use them up, preserve them, or share them with your family and friends? Number 3 on our to-do list for the month of September is frost protection. Now, if you have vegetables that you want to protect, like for example, for me, this herb garden. This is a mixture of perennial and annual. Well, technically they can all be perennial, but because of the weather, it's best to treat them as semi-perennial, semi-annual. In my case, I think the best way for me to protect them is to put a tunnel. So I bought a tunnel, a hoop, and then a frost cover. So I'm going to cut up, sadly, this okras. These are all okras. I've been harvesting them. So I'm going to cut up the okras so I can cover them and hopefully preserve them until next year. Another one that I'm going to cover is this one. This black thing, the reason why I put this to cover this area is to protect the plants from hail, because we're here in zone 5 in Nebraska and we get a lot of hail. So I put this here as protection from hail and from snow. And it does a lot it works really well. But when we have cold snap, I want to be able to preserve my greens. These are perennial, like spinach. I got good King Henry here. I got Claytonia in here. This area is jam-packed with herbs and vegetables and spices. So I want to be able to preserve all of this. So take a last look, because this is not how it's going to look like in a couple of days. But yeah, like this one. This is what I'm talking about, this hoop. I wrap my frost blanket on top of this. So as you can see, this is low. So everything that is above it will going to be cut up. So everything will be harvested. So yeah, number 3 is protection. Protect from frost. Do your pest control management, because growing season is not done yet. Just because we're gonna have a cold snap doesn't mean that it's done growing. No, there are lots of crops that you can grow even though it's cold. So yeah, it's just a matter of planning ahead and really being organized. It helps if you're gonna be organized, especially if you want to stretch with the economy that we have. I mean, prices of vegetables, my goodness, it is so expensive. And especially with herbs, they're really pricey. So you want to stretch every dollar that you get, and you want to extend your growing season as much as you can. So frost protection, mulching, all of that stuff, it helps. Every little bit helps. Number 4 on our to-do list. Yeah, this is the asparagus area. I'm gonna show you the cucumber that's hanging. Yeah, this is the hoop for our asparagus on the bottom, cucumber and tomatoes on top. Yeah, this is that tunnel. But anyway, we are talking about number 4. Number 4 is garden maintenance. Number 4 to-do list for September, garden maintenance. Now is the best time to mulch your garden. Put your mulch, loosen packed soils, and press down any perennials that may have heaved out of the ground due to temperature fluctuations like we're having. And fall is also a good time to improve your garden soil. Add manure, compost, and leaves to increase the organic matter content. Wood ashes is a good one. It contains phosphorus, potassium, and calcium, and they can be placed on your garden beds. Yeah, this area. This area has a lot of that. Also, your flower beds. Now is the time to put mulch and additional compost. Like here in my city, in my town, we can get compost from our city dump. So, and you can get them for not free, but for a very small price. So it's worth utilizing what your city has to offer. And another thing, that's garden maintenance that is worth noting for September is weed control. Remove the weeds, especially the ones on your strawberry bed or in areas where you don't want them to be in. If you remove them now, it'll be less problem for you for next year, especially those that have already flowered. So yeah. Oh, another garden maintenance that is worth noting is your flowers or plants that's vacationing, meaning you take them out of your house for summertime. They're all outside. Before you bring them inside your house, that you wash them really well, water them really well to encourage any bugs to get out of your garden pot. Because there was once upon a time I have a pot that I took out during summer, and I brought them indoors without checking it, and yeah, it has a freeloading toad inside it. So I got waken up in the middle of the night with a really, really loud croaking noise. So yeah, make sure as part of your garden maintenance, if you want to plant, you're planning on putting your plants, bring them indoors for fall, winter. Always make sure to double check them, wash them thoroughly, inspect them before bringing them indoors, so you don't bring any snake or toads or any spiders or bugs. Especially if you're not fond of such, you don't want to bring them inside your house. So yeah, that is part of your garden maintenance. Another thing is, those people who love their soil, not soil, the grass, lawn care. Now is the time that when you're mowing, you gradually lower your lawnmower blade to a shorter height as temperature cools. I'm not much into lawn care, but my husband loves his grass. So yeah, I think it is worth remembering and just throwing it in there as part of the to-do list. Number 5 on our to-do list is transplanting. September, my hubby is busy. Yeah. September is the best time to transplant your perennials. Like, it's also the best time to give them a haircut. Like your daylilies, your hostas, things like that. Now is the time to give them a haircut. Separate them if they are way too much growing in one area. Now is the time to transplant them. Transplant them, take note of them. Also, September is the month when I do my walk around the garden. I do my walk around the garden, take note of what worked, what didn't work this growing season. Like, for example, this area, that's why I brought you here. This is the back of the orchard, and it's not being utilized as well as I wanted it to be. Like, for example, this sunflower, I didn't plant this. This is volunteer. This area, it's not being utilized. I mean, this is just a vine that crawled here. I could have planted things here. You know what I mean? I mean, that is my rhubarb, and it is struggling. And this is the inside of the orchard, and you see there's a lot of bald spots that it's just walkway. I mean, there's nothing really growing, or because of the foliage on top, that it's not being utilized as much because everyone is struggling to reach for the sun, so to speak. So yeah, September is the time when I do my walk around and do my planning for next year, and also take note of what I'm going to move, what I'm going to transplant, what I'm going to separate. Like, for example, now is the time to separate your daylilies, your hostas, things like that that are growing way too much in one area. And another thing, like an example of moving plants, is this. This area needs to be moved. That is my cornflower. That one, I forgot its name, but these are all perennials. This one is supposed to look like that yellow one over here. Like that yellow pretty one right here, see? That mini sunflowers. This one over here is supposed to look like that. But because it is so shaded, because of all the foliage, it didn't bloom at all. It just stayed green. Like, yeah, it's sad. This one too barely bloomed. This is supposed to be salvia. There's barely any bloom in it. So yeah, September is when I take note of what needs to be transplanted. Like this ones, I am going to transplant all of this. What I can plant that would go well with this kind of foliage right here. And yeah, like taking note of what worked and what doesn't work. Like right now, I mean, this video is also a record for me of what I'm supposed to do. Like this one. I mean, I'm thinking about removing this vine that I let grow because I'd rather that this be used for something else. So I might remove this. This one, I have my spaghetti squash growing here, which I have to harvest because of the frost coming, early frost coming. But this one is giving me an idea of what I can do to better utilize this area for next year. So as I do a walkthrough, I'm getting ideas of what worked, what didn't work, what am I going to do next year to make it better. Another one that's noteworthy are the new planters that we did. For example, this one. That's our friend Julissa. This one is the new planter that I just made. Remember, this is my salsa spaghetti planter. It kind of worked, kind of didn't work because all the flowers like overrun it. Another one that didn't work well is I didn't factor in, I planted beans. The seed packet said it's bush, but it didn't. It climbed all the way through. So instead of the tomatoes filling up the entire place, the beans overrun it. So yeah, another one is this one. This cucumber tower. This cucumber tower worked really well. I mean, I harvested a lot from it. And there's a lot more to harvest. See? But look at this. Look at this hanging thing. I mean, it would have been better if we put a full arch right here to make this crawl on top, to utilize this area, this walk area. You know what I mean? So yeah, things like that. Another one is this one. This is new as well. I mean, the tomatoes, this one worked well because it climbed, but this one didn't. See? It's like, look at that. Look at it. So yeah, I am keeping tabs of what worked, what didn't work, what needs to be done and redone, and what not to do. So yeah, September is the time when I do that. I don't know what you call this, a walkthrough, a summary. Maybe we can call it a review. Yeah, a garden review of what worked and what didn't work. But anyway, thank you so much, guys, for watching. I'll see you again in the next one. God bless. Bye.